What if the biggest power move you could ever make is the one nobody sees coming? We're taught from a young age to announce our ambitions, to build a support network, to share our journey. But what if that's the very thing holding you back? What if the need for validation, the exposure to early feedback, and the subtle poison of other people's opinions are the invisible cages keeping your dreams from taking flight? In a world that's obsessed with broadcasting every little intention, a different kind of power is being forged in the quiet. It's the power of silence, the power of deep, uninterrupted focus. Some of the world's most successful people often move in complete silence. They use this strategy not as a way to be secretive, but as a discipline to protect their ambitions, sharpen their focus, and shock the world. Not with words, but with results. This is the art of turning private effort into public triumph. We live in an age of oversharing. The pressure to declare our goals is everywhere. We post our New Year's resolutions, announce career changes, and broadcast creative projects before the first real step is even taken. It feels productive, like we're holding ourselves accountable. But what's really happening when we do that? We're falling for the siren song of validation. That momentary thrill from the likes, the encouraging comments, the pats on the back. It's a neurological trick. Psychologists have studied this for years. When you announce your goal, your brain gets a hit of premature satisfaction. A 2009 study by Peter Gallwitzer at New York University found that people who publicly announced their intentions were less likely to follow through. The social recognition acted as a reward, tricking their minds into feeling like the goal was already part of their identity. The announcement became a substitute for the actual work. You get the applause without ever finishing the performance. This is the first trap of telling people what you do. You trade your long-term motivation for a cheap hit of praise. The drive to earn that success gets weaker because in the minds of others and even your own, the journey is already mentally stamped with achievement. But there's a darker side to this. When you throw your fragile new ideas out into the world, you expose them to things they aren't ready for. You invite in doubt, criticism, and envy. Not everyone who hears your dream will cheer for it. Some will project their own fears and limitations onto you, telling you it's too risky, it's been done before, or you don't have what it takes. This negativity, even if it's well-intentioned, can be a potent poison, creating cracks of self-doubt where solid belief used to be. Even helpful advice can be a huge distraction. People will offer their opinions and strategies, pulling your focus in a dozen different directions. Your clear, singular vision becomes a chaotic mess of other people's ideas. You end up spending more time defending your plan than actually executing it. The architect becomes a debater, and the blueprint just gathers dust. And then there's the pressure. Once you've told everyone, you're not on your own timeline anymore. You're on a public one. You create an expectation that you have to perform for an audience. This can stifle creativity and turn a passion project into a stressful chore. You become afraid to pivot, to experiment, or even to fail because the world is watching. Your journey of personal growth turns into a public spectacle, and the joy of creation gets replaced by the fear of judgment. In this noisy arena, the quiet, focused work needed for real mastery becomes almost impossible. So what's the antidote to all this noise? The fortress that can protect your ambitions? The answer is as simple as it is powerful. Silence. This isn't a new idea. It's an ancient wisdom deeply embedded in philosophies like Stoicism. The great Stoic thinkers Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus knew that the path to an effective life was an internal one. They talked about the inner citadel, a mental fortress where your peace and purpose are protected from the chaos of the outside world.
As Seneca famously wrote, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. He understood that so much of our anxiety comes from worrying about what others will think. By talking about our plans too early, we invite those imagined judgments into our present. The Stoics taught that true power lies in focusing only on what's in our control: our thoughts, our actions, and our judgments. The opinions of others are external and beyond our control. Staking our motivation on something so fickle is like building a house on sand. Moving in silence is just putting this philosophy into practice. It's a conscious decision that your work doesn't need an audience to be valid. You're building your own inner citadel, a space where your vision can grow without outside interference. Think of it like this. When you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day to show people its progress. You put it in the soil, give it water and light, and you trust the process happening unseen beneath the surface. You know that the most critical growth, the root system, is invisible. Only after that quiet, foundational work is done does the sprout finally break through the ground. Your goals are that seed. They need a quiet, protected incubation period to get strong enough to survive in the open. Silence isn't about hiding in fear. It's about operating from a position of strength. It's the quiet confidence of a master craftsman who doesn't need to talk about the masterpiece he's creating because his focus is entirely on the act of creation. His validation comes from the work itself. The world will see the finished product when it's ready, and not a moment sooner. In that quiet workshop, true excellence is born. Embracing silence isn't a passive retreat, it's an active discipline. It requires a new way of operating, and we can break it down into 4 pillars. First, you have to cultivate an environment that protects your mental energy. Your focus is your most valuable currency. Every moment you spend explaining or defending your plans is a moment you're not executing them. Silence is the wall that blocks those distractions. To build this fortress, you have to be ruthless about managing the flow of information. That means consciously choosing not to broadcast your intentions on social media or in casual conversation. It's about recognizing that the urge to share is just a craving for a quick hit of validation and learning to resist it. Create rituals of deep work. Set aside blocks of time where you're unreachable, with your phone off and your mind locked on a single task. In this space, there's no one to impress. There's only the work. This is where you'll make quantum leaps in your progress. The second pillar is about rewiring your reward system. Society runs on extrinsic motivators, likes, promotions, praise. Moving in silence forces a shift toward intrinsic motivation, doing something because it's personally rewarding and aligned with your values. Intrinsic motivation is a much more powerful and sustainable fuel. It doesn't run out when the applause fades. It's the joy of learning, the satisfaction of solving a problem, the pride of creating something that meets your own standard of excellence. To build it, you have to become your own source of validation. A great tool for this is private tracking, like a journal. Keep a log of your progress, your struggles, and your small wins. This journal is for your eyes only. When you hit a milestone, celebrate it privately first. Acknowledge your own hard work. This builds a deep sense of self-reliance and proves that your approval is the only one that truly matters.
Now, this is a crucial point. Moving in silence doesn't mean becoming a hermit. It's about being strategic. There's a huge difference between broadcasting to everyone and confiding in a select few. While you shouldn't announce your goals to the world, research shows that sharing a goal with a trusted friend or a mentor you see as high status can actually increase your commitment. The key is the intent. You're not seeking validation. You're seeking genuine accountability, wisdom, or support. A trusted confidant can offer process-based feedback, praising your effort, not just your talent, which is proven to be more motivating. They can be a sounding board for challenges and hold you accountable to the process you've set for yourself. The rule is simple. Before you share, ask yourself why. Is it for an ego boost or for a strategic advantage? Share with those invested in your growth, not with curious spectators. The fourth and final pillar is the ultimate payoff. It's the principle that your actions should always speak louder than your words. There is a profound difference between telling people you're going to write a book and placing a finished, published book in their hands. The first is a promise that invites opinion and doubt. The second is a reality that commands respect. Adopt the mindset of a producer, not a marketer of your own intentions. Focus all your energy on creating an undeniable result. Think of a bamboo tree, which spends years developing a massive, unseen root system before shooting up 90 feet in just a few weeks. The silent preparation is what enables the explosive, visible growth. When you finally reveal your work, it's not a plea for acceptance, it's a statement of fact. It lands with an authority that no announcement ever could. Your success becomes the conversation. You didn't need to talk about it because you were too busy building it. Imagine this for a moment. For months, maybe years, you've been invisible. You've declined invitations, gone quiet on social media, and become a bit of a mystery. People might have wondered what happened to you. Maybe they assumed you gave up or faded away. They've forgotten your promises because you stopped making them. But you weren't idle. You were in the workshop, the studio, the gym. You were in the deep, silent forge of self-creation. You faced your own demons of doubt, not with public declarations, but with private discipline. You measured your progress against your own standards, not by the praise of others. You found satisfaction in the relentless act of becoming better. Each day was a silent brick laid upon another, building a foundation so deep it could withstand any storm. And then comes the day of the unveiling. There's no trumpet blast. It just happens. A new business appears on the market, fully formed. A novel lands on the shelves, powerful and polished. A physical transformation is revealed, not in progress pictures, but in a sudden, undeniable presence. The reaction isn't just casual interest, it's shock, it's awe. Where did this come from? How did this happen? The questions are filled with wonder because the result seems to have appeared from nowhere, like magic. But you know the truth. It wasn't magic. It was work. It was the sum of thousands of silent, focused hours. The power of this moment is that it's irrefutable. There's nothing to argue with. The result speaks for itself in a language everyone understands. Your success is no longer a topic for debate. It's a fact. The people who doubted you are now studying your methods. The energy you saved by not arguing or seeking validation has been fully transmuted into your final creation. You've made your move. Checkmate. And you did it without ever showing them your strategy. This journey is a radical departure from the modern obsession with being seen at all times. It's a call to return to a deeper, more powerful way of operating. It's the understanding that the greatest things are nurtured in the sanctuary of silence. Your dreams are sacred. Don't expose them to the elements before they've had a chance to build their roots. Protect your vision. Fuel your work with the pure fire of intrinsic motivation, not the cheap kindling of external praise. Become the master of your own energy, investing it in action, not announcements.
Build your fortress of focus and work within its walls with a dedication that needs no audience. Trust the process. Trust that the quiet, unseen hours are the ones that matter most. Your path is yours alone to walk. It's not a performance, it's a pilgrimage toward your potential. Let the world wonder while you work. In the end, don't tell them what you did, show them. Work in silence and let your success be the noise. If this philosophy of self-mastery resonates with you, consider subscribing to continue the journey. There is always more to discover on the path to a disciplined and purpose-driven life.